Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley or Facebook James coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. And welcome to another edition of This Week in Pali Football. In a few moments on the other side of the intro, we'll have Coach Smith as we talk about week zero. That's right, week zero, and our wonderful win against Dymally 57-6. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the other side. And again, welcome to another episode of This Week in Pali Football.
Hey, win on me, win on three, ready, 1, 2, 3. Win! Oh, yeah! Stop playing with a piece! 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 Stop playing with a piece!
Some call it the gridiron.
Nice run, way to skim it.
Others, 100 yards of pain.
Too much.
We just like to call it football.
Football.
With Facebook James.
Football, baby.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. And we are over here hanging out in the studio and just celebrating the wonderful win that we had this past Friday against Dymally High School. A wonderful win, 57-6. And the boys, they look sharp. They kind of bounced back from their from their scrimmage run against Santa Monica High School. So let's go ahead and bring in Coach Smith. He's anxiously awaiting. So let's go ahead and bring him in. What's going on, Coach Smith? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good. I know you're sounding a little bit under the weather, man. You said you're kind of dealing with some cold symptoms. You got that hot toddy next to you, man?
I do. I'm waiting to drink it and then knock out. So
That's right.
I got it on deck.
We are transitioning from the summer football time, where it was nice and hot and hot and hotter. And now the temperatures are, especially now, are beginning to drop as we move into fall, man. So we definitely got to take care of ourselves because, these cold symptoms and then, that other C word
Right.
is still lurking around. So, we definitely got to take care of ourselves. So let's go ahead and hop in and kind of recap our football game last week, man. So were there any surprises? You guys came out and just, within the first 3 or 4 plays, I mean, you had a number of points already on the board. And I'm sure, you thought that, they kind of bounced back as they should have against Santa Monica with that scrimmage. Just kind of tell us your overall experience based on what you saw in the first quarter.
Well, I mean, I was surprised with the final score. I didn't expect it to be that much, but I did tell the kids if we play our game, play like we've been practicing the last 3 days prior to the game, the score should look like that. So I wasn't really surprised about how we played. Surprised by the score. I thought they would give us a little bit more pushback, but from the gate with the fumble and Connor recovering, and then the first score with King on the deep pass, it just set the tone, and then we didn't look back.
Yeah, those boys look really, really sharp. I mean, the first 2 offensive plays, granted, we got that turnover and, 1 play later, it's a touchdown. Then we get the ball back again and it's another touchdown. And so, your boy, Jack was kind of on fire a little bit, transferring in. Just kind of talk about, his leadership and what kind of it means for the season and also for the team.
No, he's been a great leader, and he was actually in my office before the game at lunch, going over plays, and I told him to send me his 10 favorite plays. I told him this is what I'm thinking. Let me know what you're thinking, and I put it in the script. And we sat there for about 30 minutes at lunch and just went over the game plan, and he executed it really well. He changed a few plays I would have hoped he kept on, but it's learning his first game, and he understood staying within the offense, and running the ball when we needed to, and checking out of plays and throwing when we needed to. And he really got that down in the second quarter going on. So he got a little bit more comfortable, and offense looked great with him. Behind the center, and his leadership, bringing the guys together. When things went bad, he didn't get rattled. So just seeing that, the team follow and seeing that was just great.
No, he looked awesome to me. Or from because it's the home opener, season opener. You want the guys to come out there and do their best. You got the cheerleaders cheering. You got the dance team. You got the band and looking nice and crispy in their new unis. They're not in t-shirts. So they came out and put on a nice show. And just so happy to see his maturation and just him being getting adjusted and acclimated to the offense, and that kind of does show his maturity level in terms of him coming in, during lunch and kind of scripting, and I love that idea. Hey, give me your favorite plays, man, and then you guys game planning from there. Let's talk about some of the receivers, man. So you got King, you got Henry, you got Harrison, man. I mean, and they were in full effect as well. I mean, everything that Jack threw up, pretty much they were able to come down, with either a touchdown or a whole bunch of yards for a positive yardage gain.
Yeah, looking at the stats, King had 58. He only had 2 catches, but it seemed like he had a lot more. He had the first one for 31 yards, and the second one he had for 27, both touchdowns. Henry had 3 catches, 48 yards and a touchdown. Max had 2 catches for 25 yards. Augie had one for 13 yards, and believe it or not, Harrison didn't catch a ball, but he was running all over the place. It seemed like he had the ball all night, but it's good to see that 5 different guys touched the ball, and even Deveron ran the ball really well. Jack had some long runs, so if we could spread the ball out like that, his offense is going to be dangerous. And we still had 2 guys, Ricardo and Armani, who were very dangerous, who didn't get to see the ball either because by the time they got in, the game was over. So it's good to see the ball getting spread around.
Absolutely, and I believe Jack even ran one in for a touchdown, right?
Yep. Yeah, 52 yard run. Yep.
So I'm just like, wow. I mean, you got the offense running on all cylinders. You got your boys catching. Jack is passing in that running game. Once it, because it is the first game of the season. Once that running game gets kind of, moving and grooving, that's going to be a pretty potent offense that you have, Coach. You're going to have a lot of options, a lot of weapons to use during the course of, throughout the game.
Yeah, not to mention Tyler Jones, who's our third running back, who's probably one of the fastest guys on our team. He didn't even play because of a hip injury. So, that's another, guy we can add to our offense. So by the time we get everybody meshing by league, I mean, we're going to be dangerous.
Absolutely, and then we talked a lot a bit about the offense, man. Now I know Dymally, they didn't have that many guys. I think I probably counted maybe, and I'm being generous, maybe between 25 and 30 guys. Did you see? I know you exchanged rosters with the coach. How many players were actually on their roster?
Uh, to be honest, I did not count,
Okay.
but I knew they had about 20, 25, 25 to 30, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think probably about 15 to 17 guys on the sideline, each series. So I'm going to say roughly 20 to 27, 25 to 27.
Yeah, that was kind of my estimate too. And then I still have to kind of give them some props because first of all, there were some big boys over there.
Yeah, they were.
They weren't like just laying down and it was like, okay, we're gonna give you the ball, you can run. Oh, there was some big dudes and they were trying their hardest to get through. But I think our speed and being at home kind of gave us. And plus we got 1,000 people on our squad. So, automatically you kind of give us the advantage. But, I tip my hat to them, and I was saying that during the broadcast because they could have easily said, all right, halftime, hey, check it out. We going to wave the white flag. But they were like,
Right.
nah, we gonna come out and this is game one for us. We're gonna do what we need to do, and maybe at some point, maybe you guys were, and I think someone said, "Oh yeah, and it wasn't a player or a coach, but and yeah, this is like a little practice for us, a little practice, kind of scrimmage kind of situation. Just kind of talk about their effort, and then coming out there and trying to move the ball and trying to run some kind of defense against you guys.
Yeah, I mean they fought to the end. Like you said, we had more guys. They lost a lot of kids from last year. I think they lost 20 seniors last year out of like 35. I mean, that's a big percentage of kids lost. I think they had some transfers. Excuse me, some transfers leave. I know talking to the coach afterwards, he said that one of their best linemen was out. I think he'll be back in a couple of weeks. So they were down. Um, but I mean, they fought hard. It's hard to get a real good look when you only have 25 guys. And I've been on teams where we've only had 25 guys. It's hard to really coach both sides of the field, the ball, and if you got guys missing, it's tough. And the funny thing is, I actually went to elementary school and middle school with the coach over there, and we were kind of talking over, and I felt really bad because you could see in his face how defeated he was. I just told him, we've all been there before. You guys did a great job last year. Just one of those years, and trust me, you guys will be back. So, they got the size, and they just got to build on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we just give that team, some props for hanging in there and still playing the game. So let's go ahead and we focused a lot of it on our offense, and we really didn't talk about our defense. The defense came through, and they were relentless as well. Talk about just some of the leaders on that defense. Putting a lot of pressure up front against the guys and really stopping that double wing team. I thought a couple of times they had they meaning Dymally had an opportunity to kind of take the ball downfield. Running, but our boys were able to kind of stop and just give your boys some accolades right now in terms of the defense and how they played this past week.
Yeah, it was funny. So we kind of prepared for them to run the spread. That's the video we had all last season. So and they didn't have a scrimmage film. So all we had was them running the spread. We got word that they were going to run the wing T Thursday. So we literally prepared for the wing T Thursday night, and they did a phenomenal job preparing for it, and pretty much stopping them to the last drive when they scored. But Coach Beck really, we took 45 minutes of our pregame, which took a little longer than normal. Really got them prepared for the wing T. It was great for us because now we get to see the wing T again this week and then the following week. So it was really good opening for us. And I think if we'd have played Granada Hills first, it would be a different story. But we're kind of progressing to that game, so it was really a great game for us. But Nico having that pick six was huge for us. That was good to see. Kenny Sanchez forced some fumbles. Joseph forced 2 fumbles. Had a fumble recovery. Connor had a fumble recovery. Jake had 10 tackles. So overall, we all played well, and the kids were hyped up. I haven't seen a defense that hyped up in a long time. I think we fed out the crowd, we fed out the energy, and having that fumble recovery early, we just kept feeding off of that. So my hats off to Jack getting prepared, and Coach Julian and the defense really buying in.
No, you guys are running to the ball. It was an awesome sight to see. Just the tenacity that you guys were exhibiting out there. You guys are just like, look, it's going to be a long. And I think I said that on the broadcast. It's like, hey, Dymally's going to have to bring their hard hat because our boys, they're hyped up, ready to play, and like the. Kind of go back to what you said in terms of the wing T. There's levels to it. So we face, because we're going to see probably 3 weeks in a row, and so we saw this past week. We'll probably see some evidence of it this week, but we already know what Granada Hills and what they kind of do over there, and so I kind of like the that there's different levels with the wing tee, and last week just kind of gave us a intro level again. This week we'll have another level, and then I guess for us, because it is a kind of high stakes game, the top level, if you want to say the top shelf of the wing tee, we're going to get a heavy dose of it in a couple of weeks. So it's good to kind of make that progression and have the boys play on those different levels as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're definitely going to see a lot of it during Thursday. Roosevelt. Roosevelt's a good team. It's not the Roosevelt that we played last year at all. They beat Venice last week, so Venice is always up there no matter what in the city. They could have a down year, but still be one of the top teams. So them beating Venice is really gonna, they're going to be on a high, run a high. So it's going to be a great game for us.
Yeah, I can't wait. And, I think I need to change the description on the Pali football page, because I was looking at the schedule and it said away. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
But then I find out, I think either you told me or someone else is like, okay, they don't have a home game. So a home, stadium, they're going to play.
right.
We're going to play at Pali. So I was like, okay. So I still need to make that adjustment. So if you're watching, just know that the game is this coming Thursday at Pali. And so we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right. So, one other thing that I kind of want to focus in on tonight was the play of the O-line, the offensive line. They were tenacious as well. I mean, sometimes I was looking down the field and they were still blocking. They were still blocking folks after,
Yeah.
darn near when the play was almost over. Cole and my man number 74. I don't know his name, but I know his number 74.
Mitchell.
Yeah, I call him the babyface assassin, because again, he doesn't a lineman. He just like, okay, I'm here. But nah, he was kind of tenacious. So just talk about the O line and what they were doing, and then without their O line coach who's trying to make his way back to Cali. Just talk about their play and give them some love right now, Coach.
So Coach Henry, in the meeting Saturday, we were watching film, said in the 3 years he's been there, he's never seen 10 guys to the ball. And that started with the O line. And we always say make a new line of scrimmage with the line. And I mean, every time, every play, there's a new line of scrimmage 10 yards on the field, all linemen. And it was so good to see. There was times where Cole was blocking guy 10 yards down the field. Mitch was blocking a guy 10 yards in the backfield. Liam was blocking another guy in the sideline. I mean, it was great to see. And even the receivers got involved. There was one play where literally everybody but the quarterback was at the ball blocking. And I told him, if we block like this, there's not a team in the city that can beat us. So the O-line has really been, a bright spot for us. In any team, the O-line's always, the question mark and the key to a team. But, I mean, if the last 2 weeks, it's been really good to see. And if they keep blocking like this, we're going to have a good season.
Absolutely, no doubt. And that's one of the underappreciated positions in football, I think, is the O-line. Everyone wants to see the skillies, the receivers, the running backs, the QB, the linebackers, right? But I think that offensive line, man, and if they play as a unit like they did, there's going to be some a lot of wins this season that we can look forward to. So I think we saw a little bit of what we saw the potential, and again, it was Dymally, and not to take anything away from them, but we knew that they were missing some people. Let's kind of look forward to talking about our next opponent, which is the Rough Riders, as they're called, from Roosevelt, man. So, what kind of offense did you receive any take from them to kind of help you understand what kind of offense that they play on a weekly basis? But we already said they play a version of the wing tee, correct?
Yeah, so they run the double wing tee. Same thing Dymally ran, and same thing we'll see again next week with Granada Hills. So, but they got a heavy line, big line. They're gonna, try to tire you out. They play slow. They just want the lineman to drive you down the field, and So we got to match that energy as well, and we got to tire them out early, so they're tired. But yeah, they just play smash mouth football, and we got to be ready for it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Again, just if I remember, we played them last year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I mean they had a nice little team, and I think we ended up winning the game anyway. But they had a nice little team that kind of gave us a little run for our money, and they had some big dudes over there. So and then
Yeah.
they also had some guys who like to kind of talk a little bit on the sidelines, and so I'm gonna go back and look at some of their stats and players as well. Unless if do you know if any of their players right off the jump, maybe by number? If you don't, not a big deal.
No, I don't know their names or numbers. I know that they have a lot of guys coming back. They were pretty young last year, so they
Yeah,
do have they're pretty senior heavy this year. So
yeah,
they got experience. Like their line is, like I said, big experience. So they're gonna play smash mouth. They're gonna try to wear us down. I don't think they passed it all last week. Yeah,
wow.
they didn't tip one pass last week. So we can't fall asleep though. We got to be ready for the pass. We got caught with the Friday and last year playing them. We got caught late. I think in the first half with a long pass. So we just got to be. We can't fall asleep, but we know what they're gonna do. So we got to be ready for everything.
Absolutely. And then with this being a short week, how does that? I'm sure that kind of puts a little damper in your preparation because, again, the game is this coming Thursday. So you're 1 day short with practice and preparation. So how do you kind of, navigate that kind of situation where you have a Thursday night game? And then also next week, unless you plan to have a full a full practice schedule. You don't have to tell us a practice schedule for next week, just in case the boys listen. But again, with you not being able to play on a Friday, how does that kind of help or hinder your preparation this week?
Well, it's a blessing that they actually ran the wing tee because now we got to get an extra couple. We got a night of seeing it, so we actually gained a day playing them Friday night. So it was actually a blessing that from us playing on Thursday. So the only thing that really changed is our hitting schedule. We usually hit on Mondays, but since we lost a day, we don't want to hit 2 days in a row and then have that Wednesday practice. So Monday's usually a walkthrough kind of day anyway. Tuesday, Wednesday is a hitting day, but since we can't hit Wednesday, we lose that kind of day. But mentally and in preparing, we haven't lost much because we've seen the same offense, and even defensively, they kind of run a similar defense as well. So, we don't have to change much of the game plan. We just have to obviously watch what they do and the type of players they have. A little bit more speed on defense and a little bigger players. But as far as scheme wise, we don't have to change it much because we've already seen it.
Well, that's pretty nice. So, again, I like the way that you kind of considered Friday. Again, not taking away anything, but you kind of consider that practice, and then so you really don't lose a day. You might lose a day of hitting, but in terms of football, if we're talking about levels and the wing tee progressing to the level where you got your Dymally, you got your Roosevelt, and then you got your Granada. That's definitely going to help you get prepared mentally and physically, for that big game, the Charter Bowl in a couple of weeks. So, hopefully we can get it together, and the boys can have a wonderful, wonderful game just like they did last week. Now, I did have an opportunity to kind of talk to Jack and Jake. Say that 5 times fast. Jack and Jake. And here's kind of what they kind of said about,
Excuse me.
just from their vantage point, what they saw during the game. So here we go.
All right, so check it out. Facebook James here. I'm with two guys who had a phenomenal game tonight in a home opener here at the Stadium by the Sea. We won Dymally 57-6. I really wanted to say 0, but the defense was unable at the very last second to preserve that donut. But I'm here with Jake, and Jack. Jack, you first, man. What was it like? You transferred in to Pali, your first Pali home game as a starting QB. What was that like, man?
Yeah, super exciting. Really, I've been here all summer, so getting out and grinding with the guys was, a pleasure. And, it felt great. All the students showed out, and we came together and we dominated. So it was great.
Absolutely. Now you're going to get some street cred because instantly, if at the very beginning of the game, man, you threw 2 touchdowns, one to King, one to my nephew, LeHenry, man. What was that like, man? You just lobbing them up and they're just catching them out the sky, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of trust in them. We've been working all summer. I've known your nephew for many years, so it's been great to be working with them, and I just have full confidence, full trust in them that I can put the ball somewhere in the vicinity and they'll make a great play. So
absolutely,
players.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, man. Go celebrate with the rest of the team. I'm gonna talk to your teammate right here, Mr. Trey Batch. Absolutely. There you go. Jake, my man.
What's going on?
We've been here so often, dude. First of all, I just want to say congratulations. I heard Little Birdie told me that you were in a couple of Sports Illustrated articles as a guy to kind of watch out. What was that? What does that do for you? Your final season here at Pali. Does that boost your self-confidence on the field?
I would say, I don't want to be this guy, but I'm just here to work. I appreciate all the recognition and everything, but I'm here to play football. I don't play for the articles. I want to play college. I'm playing to help this team out. I appreciate the recognition, but I'm here to work with the guys, and we're working towards something really good here.
Absolutely. And one thing I love about this guy, his humbleness. He's very humble. He just wants to come here. Last year, just work, play as hard as he can. And this year, they set a tone, just doing, what defense does. And, you just laid the wood on the offense over there. Just kind of tell us what you saw tonight from Dymally and how you guys were so successful tonight with stopping them from scoring.
Yeah. So Dymally's a very respectable program. We played them a couple years back in playoffs. And with the guys, we really prepared this week. The energy was something different. We're watching film. Everyone is doing their job. A big part of it is just the collective effort. We got everyone to buy in this week. It was something out of a movie almost. It was and physically, you got to show them what's up. We're a defense. We got, as advertised, we got to show up. We got to hit someone in the mouth. And I think we did that today, holding them. Starting defense only held them to 0 points. We scored 57-0 with the starters. I'm gonna say that.
Absolutely.
And it's all about just collective effort, everyone doing their job, and hitting someone in the mouth. That's what we do.
Absolutely. So last question, man. I know you guys didn't do so well in the scrimmage. What was it like coming out here? I know talking to Coach, he was kind of frustrated because of the lack of energy and just you guys not being prepared last week in the scrimmage against Santa Monica. But what did you do really for this week to kind of set the tone so that you guys could be ready for this season opener?
So we really had to take a step back from our own egos and everything. All summer it's pretty easy to, maybe we win against the offense a couple days in a row. We think we're all that. We really aren't. It was definitely a humbling experience. We had to take a step back and really look at the film for what it was. The only person who changes yourself if you're not watching the film how it's supposed to be watched. A lot of it is just based on how you approach it, right? Maybe I didn't have a great game. I got to come out honest. Maybe I missed a couple tackles. What I got to work on? Got to work on tackling. A couple coverage calls. You got to work on coverage. It's all just how you approach everything. I think we really approached it with good energy this week. Everyone's doing their job, as I said. It's just holding accountability. That's a big thing on our defense.
Absolutely. Well, man, I appreciate you. Man, this is a wonderful start to a new season. Continue to grind, continue to encourage your boys out there. And next week we have Roosevelt, so just get prepared for that. And I believe it's going to be here next Thursday.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be here next Thursday, or on Thursday. So come on out, support the varsity boys. Hopefully we'll have a JV game, but Jake and the rest of the boys will be here. So congratulations on the awesome win, man. I'm Mr. Riley or Facebook James signing off from here, Stadium by the Sea, where Pali has won 57-6.
Let's go, Pali. Come on.
Let's go, Pali. Peace.
Yeah, man. I just love I love his personality. I love his answers. I love his humbleness. In terms of just making sure that the team is focused and ready to do what is necessary to play that defense, to play that offense. I mean, you have two rock stars on both sides of the ball who are leaders on the field. Any words about those two particular individuals that we just heard from?
Yeah, they're both similar in a way how they talk to the team. After practice, Jack will go up to the lineman, give them words of encouragement, let them know, hey, this is what I see. Let's change this or whatever. But it's always in a positive way. Same with Jake. It's never anything negative. If there's something that the team's not doing, they bring the team up together. They say, hey, let's do this, let's do that. But it's always in a positive way. So to have that on a team, outside the coaches it's really helpful, and especially both of them being starters and leaders physically, as players, having that voice from somebody like them is really good.
No, man, it's going to be a great season, I think. Those two, and then the rest of the boys. And then, like I said, I think on the progress, like, look, I only know about 5 or 6 of the boys on the field. So I gotta, I gotta get used to, new names, new numbers.
Yeah.
But no, it was a blast just being out there and just witnessing, just them playing hard and fast and, making you guys happy. You guys are the coaches, you guys are kind of, joyous a little bit, once the kind of game kind of got, out of hand a little bit, but you guys were kind of excited. I can tell. There was still some. I think there was a couple of unsportsmanlike conducts, or a couple of plays that need to be cleaned up a little bit. But I'm sure you guys will do that in preparation for Roosevelt. Man, any last words that you want to say about this past Friday or this coming Thursday?
Yeah, what I want to say, the crowd and the energy in the stadium, it was nothing like I've seen since I've been there, and we really fed off that energy from the student section, the parents, the crowd, everybody, and it was electric from the start to the finish. I think it died down a little bit when they realized, okay, this game is over, and I think there was one time we scored. I don't think anybody cheered. They were just kind of like, all right, we've seen this again, But from the start and even towards the end of the game, when the game was over, they were still cheering. But it was electric, and I hope that we have the same energy again Thursday. So I want to thank students, parents, the crowd, friends, whoever came out and watched. Please come out again and support. We thank you all. Trust me, we thank you. So, and then going forward for Thursday, it's going to be a great game. And like I said, Roosevelt's a really good team. It's not the team from last year. We're really going to have our hands full this week. So we're going to need that energy again, and the boys are going to be ready to play. So we're going to give hopefully a good show again Thursday. So please come on out.
Absolutely. And then, a big shout out to Lorenz Evans as well. Just him being there, just announcing all the stuff, right? I mean, he's taking care of, Facebook James, he's taking care of band, he's taking care of cheer, taking care of the players. I mean, he's doing a lot, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I tip my hat to you, Mr. Evans, for being out there. Pali football dad, he's out there and just volunteering his time, and he's having fun with it. I think he's having as fun as I am, on the field watching the boys play. But no, I think that's a huge lift, a huge boost, I should say, with the team and just the atmosphere of a Friday night lights football game at the Stadium by the Sea. Coach, we appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Let me just go ahead and close up the show, and then we'll come back and kind of chop it up at the end, okay?
All right. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, so check it out, man. Another wonderful This Week in Pali Football with Coach Smith and myself. Man, we just want everyone to come on out this coming Thursday. I believe it's August 29th at 4 o'clock for the JV game. There is a JV game. And then at 7 o'clock for the varsity football game at the Stadium by the Sea. It's going to be a blast. We're looking to go 2-0 on the season. And usually, these first few games, we're trying to feel each other out, trying to get used to hitting somebody else again. So come on out just like you came on out last week. Come on out Thursday. Again, Thursday. I should have made a graphic just flashing Thursday, Thursday. Come on out Thursday afternoon, 4 o'clock for the JV, 7 o'clock for varsity. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. Other than that, I appreciate you watching. We tried to get Facebook to work with us a little bit, but Facebook was not Facebooking tonight. So we just exclusively over here on YouTube. So those of you who are watching right now, or if you're going to watch the rebroadcast of it, we appreciate you. Just go ahead and put in there hashtag Dolphin or Go Dolphins, and that will be cool. That way we'll know that you have watched the broadcast, okay? So other than that, for Coach Donald Smith, I am Facebook James or Mr. Riley. Of course, we're coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. And again, we appreciate you watching. And as always, go Pali. See you on Thursday. Peace.